Hi there, folks, and welcome to our Betway Summer Cup preview. It's just gone 8:30. We're doing this a bit later because we wanted to get through all the changes as well. I'm joined by Lyall Cooper. We're going to make this short, sharp, and
sweet.
To the point. And sweet.
Yeah.
Lyall and I are both working at Turffontein today, so we've got a plane to catch, as they say in the classics. Here is our Summer Cup preview for today. 10 races carded. A warm welcome, Lyall. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Nico. Looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a magnificent day. Just praying that the weather stays off until after 5.
Yeah, there is expected bad weather later on today, so we'll hope that does behave itself. But we want to go to our tips for today because people are eagerly awaiting those. The first race is a maiden juvenile plate over 800 meters. Yeah, you can scratch number 9, Symbol of Love. And there's been a few updates with regards to the shoes, but not important. What have you heard? Have you heard anything?
I've heard nothing. I've got a few comments. Number 7, Nice Filly Speedy, says Ashley Fortune. The 8 horse Corner Special will need the experience. Number 10, the Navy Lark. Jaap Visser, very speedy filly, will run a good run. The 11, also Ashley Fortune, Nice Filly as well. Probably looking for a bit further. Number 1, Fire and Flames will need the experience. The 3, Very Speedy, working well. That's Arctic Flag. And Fast Track, working very well, but a bit too short here. Nico, you and I chatted before this, and I'm leaving it in your hands. I have no idea, Nico. None.
Well, you're normally guided by the betting in these events. So It is normally the race time betting. And because we're there on the course today, we'll give people as much information as we can. My tendency here is when you're looking at the betting, the money's all come for 7 Ripple Effect, number 7, who's a daughter of Erupt, who was pretty precocious as a sire in his first stallion draft last season. I'm looking at 6 and 7 as the 2 possible winners here. Move On Over, who's a daughter of Karari. Ripple Effect is a daughter of Erupt. So I'm going to tip them 6 from 7. I'm leaning towards the better bred horses here. And that's the way that I'll see it before, of course, we get to the course to see what happens a bit later. So 6.
Just to add one thing, Nico, I did ask Ashley why Louis Clothwell was riding number 7 and not Ryan Munger, and that was the owner's request.
Yes, it would be the owner's request. Okay, so there we go. That's it. One of the owner's requests, or all the owner's requests.
Correct.
Okay.
I should have said the owners.
Okay, there we go. So that's where you get that from. Okay, race 2 is the start of the bipod, of which there's a likely pool of 400,000 Rand. It's a maiden over 1160. Scratches number 14 here. Civil Princess has come out, the newcomer. There was a bit of money for it, but unfortunately it's come out. The first time of Celtic Rumours. Let's start there first before we go to the race horses. You've heard a bit about this.
Yes, I've heard a few stories about this daughter Vercingetorix. The mare won over 16, so you'd think this will be a bit sharp. Sean Terry's official comments: should run well if not too green, and that's pretty confident. Drawn nicely at 13. So of the first timers, that's the one for me. And then this is where you and I, we have chatted about this card, you and I, quite a few times. This is where you and I slightly disagree. I'm going Malech number 7 strongly, and I think you liked a bit of number 8, Nico.
Yeah, I thought 8 was value at the price. Slinky Mapimpi, I certainly like his first 2 runs. You know, he ran second to that horse Raffles, who went on to Durban, if you remember correctly, and ran a good race down in Durban directly after winning that maiden. So I thought that was a good price, Slinky Mapimpi at 10 to 1. I obviously like both Fish Eagle. I think Fish Eagle's a big price too, 7 to 1. I don't think there's much between 4 and 7. And even though there was a length and a half between them on their debut run behind Foster Novo, I think Fish Eagle might just narrow that gap, but I do think it's between those 3 of the horses that have run.
And just to mention Insightful for a place. I think Insightful's got a nice place chance.
Okay, that's number 2 there that Lyall likes for a bit of a place, but I do think there's a bit of value to be had there with both Fish Eagle and Slinky Mapimpi for Philip Vermeulen, whose horse won the other day, Savannah Storm, in very, very good fashion. Race 3 starts off the PA, and by the way, we've done a Take a Bet PA with Chloe Andrews. That'll come up on the Take a Bet, the Tab for Racing app. You'll find our 96 Rand PA there as well. Third race, a Pinnacle Stakes, 1,400 meters. You can scratch number 5, Sound of Summer here in the third race. Where are you going for the likely winner in this Pinnacle?
Strong first selection, Nico. Number 10, Bon Vivant. To Beat Home, Castletown, Forever Mine, and Another Level. But quite confident on the 10 at the weights.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that is a good bet today. Bon Vivant won a good race last time out. At the weights, looks to be the right horse. 16-18 to 10. We're leaning strongly towards that. In terms of the places, I can't offer more than you've offered. I just think I'm having a win bet on Bon Vivant.
I love it. Me too, Nico. I think number 2 is good, maybe good place value.
Yeah, no reason to beat around the bush there. As we move on to the fourth race, start of a carryover pick 6, Lyall. Carryover of 2 million rand, likely pool 10 million rand. This is the Magnolia handicap over 1,160 meters. And once again, there is a scratching in this race. Epico number 8 is out. We made this 2 horses, really, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Gobsmacked and number 2, Sweet Pepper, with that big weight. Those are the 2 class horses. After that, we looked at number 11, Kiss Me Captain, and I think Alula Star is some very good value for the places. But yes, Nico, you and I both like Gobsmacked to beat number 2.
Yeah, Gobsmacked to make it 5 out of 5. Sweet Pepper, I think, is better than its last run, actually, behind Moon Shining Through. So therefore, we've given that a chance. And then what about this Kiss Me Captain, number 11?
Yeah, obvious chance and drawn well. So we'll see how good she is today. If she can beat Gobsmacked and, of course, Sweet Pepper, then she really is good. So we are including her in our exotics, Nico.
Okay, so if you are including a Lula Star for wider play, I'd suggest you might include the 3 Kissing Point as well if you're playing a little bit wider, because I think that's got a bit of improvement to come. But basically, Lyall and I are in Gobsmacked's camp, but we are expecting Sweet Pepper to be right on top of it there. Correct. Race 5, if we move on to the 5th, the Grade 3 Betway Merchant, start of Jackpot 1, where there's a likely pool of 650,000. Scratch this Tony Rivelin's horse, number 8, Point Spinner. That comes out of race number 5. Here's the betting. This is a bit more hotly contested, but we thought here that the fillies, again, may hold sway.
We did, Nico. I know you and I both like Desert Miracle from that draw this afternoon. Big Burn, Big Burn and Desert Miracle are 2 of my favorite 5 horses in the country, and they're both here. Big Burn's drawn badly. I love this draw to Elusive Fort, but for me, 3 from 1. And then number 11, Moon Shining Through, very good win last time, has to be mentioned. And I like a bit of value for a place for Kayla's Jump.
Okay, yes, Desert Miracle. She could well crack it today. As you say, the draw sways us a bit because we have noticed on that stand-side track, regardless of whether there's rain or not, that the higher draws are more effective. And therefore, that is the reason that we put in behind siding with Desert Miracle from a 12 draw, as opposed to Big Burn, who's drawn 1. Full Velocity, I like a little bit.
Yes, you do, yes.
But I think that's a big runner. But I think it has to beat Desert Miracle, Full Velocity. And then further down, we mentioned Moon Shining Through, number 11. And Kayla's Champ. Kayla's Champ's a huge price.
I think it's a huge price. I think she can place.
Yeah. So don't exclude Kayla's Champ in your pick 6s, guys. 16 to 1 certainly will be right there.
And Nick, I did speak to Roy Magna about number 7, Basim. He said it should be thereabouts, just for the play. He said we'll be thereabouts.
It's 50 to 1, you know that. No, it's 16 to 1. It's 16 to 1.
It'll be on the premises, he says.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because if there was a colt that I'd put in, or a male horse, I'd put in Basim. But I think the females will dominate it.
Yes. Agreed.
Okay, move on to the Johnson Workwear Dingons. Great to have Johnson Workwear as sponsors, and they'll basically be clothing most of the people on the course today, won't they, Johnson Workwear?
Yeah, wonderful. Lovely to have Nick Johnson. I believe he might be there, which is great.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him. Maybe I might have a chat to him, or maybe you might have a chat to him later on today. Yes. Race 6 at 2:30 is the Dingons. Always a top-class 3-year-old race. I just hope it gets Grade 1 status again, because I think it deserves that. No blinkers for 6. Argo Alley. Vesuvia has a pressure halter on. De Kock is the man here, isn't he?
Definitely, Nico. De Kock, Shoemaker, Union Square, East Coast. You and I have chatted about this race at nauseum. Slight difference of opinion. I know you're strong on number 9 and then the 7. I really like number 5, but you've chatted about the weights as well. And then Royal Victory. But yeah, for us, De Kock, 9, 7, 5, and number 3, Royal Victory has to be mentioned. I was going slightly East Coast, and I think you're going slightly Shoemaker, Nico.
Yeah, well, no, maybe even Union Square, but I think Shoemaker should win it, judging on the last run behind Anfield's Rocket. So I think De Kock holds the key here. I'm thinking all three of them deserve to be put in, but Shoemaker, Union Square, East Coast to fight it out. I don't think that De Kock will lose this one. I think this is his for the taking. If there was anything remotely at a big price that I thought could improve, it's Thunderstruck, because I think that his last run was all wrong. I'm expecting him to improve. I don't think he's a 20-1 chance there. Right, then the big one. The Betway Summer Cup, race 7, runs at 25-4 this afternoon, 2,000 meters. Scratched, unfortunately, is number 18, Jamala. We obviously offer our commiserations to the whole Fortune team on his passing. He is deceased, it says in the changes.
Very sad, yeah.
Very sad, but look at all the changes here. How do you look at this field of 18 now in the Summer Cup? What are you tipping for the Summer Cup this year?
Monica, I think it's the first time in a long time I've tipped the favourite. I exclude Summer Pudding, of course. Sparkling Water, I think everything's right for her to come through and win. Safe Passage, I do think, is a big danger to the stablemate, even though drawn 10. Number 6, Porto Manzano, perfect preparation for this race. And then I know you and I both like a bit of Nebraska as well. And I'm going to mention Aragosta. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think the winner will come from those 5.
Okay. Are you leaning towards Sparkling Water as your first choice?
I am.
Yeah.
I am, yes.
Okay. Well, she ran an absolute blinder last time out. It was a good comeback run. I hear that she's doing wonders at home in terms of her work. But I'm going back to the July. You know, I tipped Aragosta to beat Sparkling Water in the July. The fair thing was that I ended up backing Sparkling Water on the day, but I liked Aragosta going into the day because I went lukewarm on Aragosta. I still think Aragosta is a huge runner today with Richard Ferree. So I'm going Aragosta to win the Betway Summer Cup ahead of Sparkling Water. I really like Porto Manzano. I thought his run in the Charity Mile was brilliant. I'm going to put him there. And likewise, Nebraska's run in the Victory Moon was excellent too. And with Pierre Strader breaking that 5,500 win on Thursday, I think he's got a bit of mojo in him. So I think all of those deserve throwing in. If you had to choose your best outsider in the race, what is your best outsider out of all the others?
Nebraska. Well, Nebraska, because it's 16 outside of those.
Outside of those, a double price horse.
Outside of those, my biggest roughie would be Red Saxon.
Red Saxon at 14-1. Mine is going to be number 10, second base, with Gavin Lorena up at 40-1 as a place.
Good. All righty.
Okay, so that is race 7. Let's go to the 8th now. Race 8 is the Grade 2 Betway Ipitombi Challenge. Scratch number 3, Bold Fortune in this one. And here the money has come for Feather Boa into 5-2. We thought the 3-year-olds had the key to winning this. We don't think an old horse will win. We think one of the young horses will win. And you were big on Feather Boa.
I'm big on Feather Boa. It's my banker on the card, Nico. Stu Pettigrew, Cabello Mazzignani. The talk's been around for this one. She's very talented. Number 12, obviously the horse to beat. Give me a shot, doing nothing wrong. And then just a bit of value. I thought number 6, Gilded Butterfly. Watch out for Gilded Butterfly, the 4-year-old. She might just be there and thereabouts as well. And we also mentioned Miss Daisy and Captain Peg. But for me, quite strong Feather Boa.
Okay, Feather Boa is a strong first selection from Lyall in that Ipitombi Challenge. Give me a shot, I think, will be better over the mile, Lyall, than it was last time out. I thought it was only finding its feet late in the day last time out, and I really liked it, actually, last time to run a blinder. So I think it's between those two for the win here, 9, Feather Boa, and 12, Give Me a Shot. I think Miss Daisy is probably better over a bit shorter. But I thought those ones hold the key. I'm not so, I like Gilded Butterfly over Further. I think she needs Further nowadays. Okay. But Under Your Spell is the one from the older horses that I'm holding. I've really liked Under Your Spell in her career. So I'm also going to be chucking that into my pick 6 as well today.
I'm so glad you're throwing her in because she is extremely talented. So I'm very glad you're doing it.
She is a very talented horse. She's been bought mostly by Australian interests, have bought most of her now. And I think that she can't be left out of the equation. Number 1, Under Your Spell. The 9th race is the Stayers race, the listed Racehorse Owners Association Stayers over 2 miles. 8 runners. How are you viewing it?
Don't like it. 4, 5, 6, and 8. You and I decided to go quite wide here. That's the best I can do. Maybe 5, 4, 6, and 8. Don't like it, Nico.
Okay, so you're going to go wide in your jackpots, your second jackpots, and your pick six here. How wide?
Correct.
Field?
Field. Yeah. Anything could win.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay. Field then. Okay. Field then in race number 9, as you heard from Lyall. I don't want to hazard a guess here. We've obviously heard talk about the 5 Arumagam, who won well last time. Alfatic comes in with a reputation that he's going to get better with time. Again, I can't narrow it down at all for you guys. I think you have to go field in the last. Even the filly at the bottom, flying first class, can do it. So that's a tough one. Probably the toughest of the day, even though it's a small field. The last race of the day is the merit rated 84 handicap over 1,800 meters. There are no changes in that 10th and last race. The money's all been for Tamarisk Tree. Opened up 3-1, is now 12-10. They've snapped up the prices here.
Yeah, Nico, it's probably the only race in the card you and I are really going to disagree. I'm still going number 9, Climate Control, to beat Tamarisk Tree. Then, of course, Good Counsel and Tebabua. So for me, 9, 7, 6, and 5.
Okay, 9, 7, 6, and 5. We've discussed this at length, you and I, but you're still remaining on Climate Control, are you?
Nico, you've explained to me the weights, and Tamarisk Tree should win this at the weights. Yes, I'm just going to go take it on with, I think, talented Climate Control.
Okay, I'm quite big on Tamarisk Tree. I think that'll win, but I think Lyall's been in good form, so I think caution there with number 9, Climate Control. Tababua and Good Counsel are the other two. And if you're throwing them into your bets, put in number 1, Captain Spundy Sailor from Pierce Stradham's perspective there, with him riding a winner on Thursday.
I'm just looking at that price there. Tibber number 6 there. Nice place value there at 14-1. I don't know it'll win, but it might just be good place value.
I think the win for me, I'm quite, as I said, I'm confident in Tamarisk Tree in the last. I think it just ran well above the last time out. And it ran, what did I say to you when we were speaking earlier, to
105.
105. And we mentioned Climate Control at 99.
I think you had him at 100.
At 100.
89. I was at 90. No, it was 100, yeah.
Yeah, it was 100. So, yeah, there's only one between them.
I'm a big fan of East Coast, so that's why I'm including Climate Control quite strongly. The form line.
Lyall, we've been short, sharp, and sweet, as you mentioned, which is what we wanted to be. Of course, we've got our Clocking the Gallop direct line, which is into its second day today of 3 days. We're looking forward to hearing from you. If you are that, you'll find the Clocking the Gallop direct line videos on our channel. Lyall, all the best for today. Thanks for joining me. We've come into the time that you wanted to come into, so we're looking forward to a great day. May you have a great Summer Cup in 2022.
See you there, Nico. Thank you so much.
Cheers, man.